So right here we have the Tangzu Nezha. So basically Nezha is this mythical demigod in Chinese mythology, and he has 6 arms, and he always comes across and he's always flying around with his flying flaming wheels. And yeah, so basically this earphone is named after him. Inside it is basically 6 balanced armature and a piezoelectric tweeter. In terms of sound, it is the natural warm sounding signature. It's quite popular these days, and how they achieve it is with 6 balanced armature and a piezoelectric tweeter. In terms of sound, bass is actually very full and very resonant. Your upper mids, there is a rise over there, but because it's handled by balanced armatures, it's actually rather smooth as well. In terms of treble extension, the piezoelectric tweeter adds a bit of extension, and it's slightly airy also. So overall, this is a very different earphone when you compare it to irons from Tangzu previously, such as the Wu Zetian or Heyday, where it's a planar magnetic driver earphone where it's a bit thicker in sound. This is very different. This is a very buttery experience, and I think many would actually like this as well. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Shen Wu Men, the new flagship from Tangzu. As you can see, well, I think the workmanship is very different from the rest of the Tangzu line. There is contours, there is nice marks on the chassis itself, so it actually is very intricate. Also the copper finish, well, this is not real copper, but the copper color finish looks really nice and very interesting. So in terms of sound, I think this is the next level from Tangzu. It truly is a flagship product. In terms of sound, it's very different from what is before. This is a lot more refined. When it comes to soundstage, it's actually pretty wide sounding as well. Bass is very full. When it comes to treble and upper mid-range, it is, how do I say this? There is, if you think when I mentioned like Nezha is already very smooth, this is even smoother and with better resolution as well. So on the whole, am I anticipating this from Tangzu? I certainly am. Hopefully I can do a full review on it with their support. Yeah, but with that said, watch this space on the Shen Wu Men. Sorry, my Chinese is bad. I am terrible at that. But with that said, yeah, this is the Shen Wu Men. So right now what we have here is the prototype of the Softears Enigma. So it will not look like this on the final version. It will have a metal chassis that will look vaguely like the titular logo that is printed up there, which I'll show you guys later. Right. So in terms of sound, it is, well, it has very resonant bass, it's very full sounding on the low end. On the upper mids, if you like read music, ACG, there is a very nice focus tone that all these type of music have in common, and when it's very focused and very sweet, you feel like the maiden is singing next to your ears. And yeah, honestly, I really rather dig this, and it really looks rather nice as well. Okay, so honestly, one thing I want to say about this is that the sound is very warm, very full, and one thing about what I like about the DC Elite is that the chassis, the build quality is actually very solid. It is quite unlike what you have seen. They have integrated things such as a rotary knob on the top for volume control. And this is not something that you see very common. A lot of effort has been done into the design where they actually have a guard for the rotary knob. Because one thing about rotary knobs is that they get turned on very easily. But because of the guard, you don't really get that problem over here. And in terms of really the build, it's truly next quality. They don't feel like a tin can. It feels very solidly built. And this is very interesting from Ibasso, truly. In terms of sound, let me reiterate, it's a very warmish style of sound, so it's perfect for vocals. If you're using earphones that's slightly brighter, it will suit it quite a lot. That is not to say that it is extremely warm, but there is just an innate small little warmth character when it comes to it. So the thing about this is that this is the brand new D16 Taipan. It is a portable amplifier deck from Ibasso. What is amazing is that you might see the size is just like a brick and think that it's really huge, but in terms of power, it is very powerful. 它的推动力非常大. So this is my A5000, and it's not a very difficult earphone to drive, but with an amp like this that is powering it, it sings, okay? So it just basically levels this up like 2-3 times just because I'm using the Taipan. What is interesting about this is that inside there's an FPGA chip, so basically they tweak the FPGA chip to have its own unique sound signature that is not available through your other decks such as AKM, Cirrus Logic, that sort of thing. Is all made in-house, which is really cool. Okay, so this is basically your headphone amplifier, and what is cool about it is that they integrated new tubes into this design. So new tube is a is a relatively new thing from Korg, but it is actually traditional tube in design and can be integrated into many modern designs, much easier than your strange little pencil tube, that kind of thing. So it gives you the tube characteristics and it's very natural. People might say that it sounds organic, yes, and people might compare it to things such as R2R, but when it comes to tube, there is a liquidness that the R2R cannot really offer, so it is rather unique as well. And now I'm going to give it a first listen. So as expected, it really has the tube flavor. So if you're one of those people who really likes vocals, likes the warmth in tone, and you want something that can drive most of your headphones, I think the PB5 Ospray is definitely one to check out. These days, tube sound is very rare in the realm of portable audio because it just usually needs a bigger physical size, and I think this is a good compromise when it comes to that. You get the very lovely tone, especially when you are feeling the mood for tubes.